Alright, now there, on the recording it's actually tuned either down or up, I can't remember, but if you're in standard tuning, it's not going to work, so you'll have to tune to the tuning on the recording if you want to sound like them. But these are the chords they're using. I'm just going to do it in standard tuning, and also you can hook your, if you have an electric acoustic, hook it up to an acoustic amp and put some chorus on it. It's really cool. Anyway, as always, you can make a donation to the lessons if you're enjoying them and you're getting a lot out of them learning guitar. Then you can read my channel description on my YouTube page, or you can send me an email at beginnerguitarlesson@yahoo.com for information on that. I have a 5 DVD box set of my own personal lessons on being a complete guitar player for acoustic or electric, and you can also check that out as well. We're going to start with an A minor chord. Now, if you don't know what an A minor is, you're going to use 3 fingers, okay? So on your left hand, you're going to put your pointer finger on the second string up from the ground, which is the B string. Okay, so this is the B string. We got our first finger here on it. And then you want to be kind of close to the fret there. You don't want to be too far this way, because then you'll get a buzzing sound, or you'll even mute it. So right here next to that. And then we're going to take our ring finger, and we're going to put it on the D string, or I'm sorry, the G string, the very next string up towards the ceiling, all right, where I'm at, towards the sky. So, so second fret there, and then we're going to take our middle finger and put it on the D string, right here, on the second fret as well. So we have second fret on the D and the G, and first fret on the B string. Okay? Now, lift your fingers up, curve your fingers, and drop your wrist a little bit so you don't mute any strings by accident. And let's strum that first chord. It's an A minor chord. Okay, you can strum all the strings. You might not like the low E in there. If you don't like it, just wrap your thumb around and mute it. Okay, now for the next chord, all we're going to do is we're going to add 4, or add a 4 to that chord, which means we're just going to take our pinky and add it here on the 3rd fret on the B string. Now you may say, well, we already have this one down. I know, but we're just going to change that one note, and then we're going to lift the finger back up and come back down to it. So we play that first A minor chord, strum all the way down, and you need to be using a thin pick. If you're using a pick, or a real thick pick will just dig in. You can't have as much freedom, I think, when you're strumming. So strum down, and then we're going to put our pinky down here, and then we should get this. Hear that? Hear how that changes the sound? So lift it back up, put it down, and then lift it back up. And that's the first 3 things that you do. 1, 2, 3. You can strum down on all of them. Alright, and I've got my thumb wrapped around muting the low E, but it really wouldn't hurt anything if you didn't. Okay? Now for the next chord, you need a G chord. And what I'm going to do for that, if you don't know what a G chord is, bear with me. Or if you do know, bear with me. I'm going to show everybody that doesn't know. We're going to take our middle finger and put it on the thickest string, the low E, on the 3rd fret. Okay? And then first finger, and I'm going to put it on the A string on the 2nd fret, the very next string towards the ground there. Okay? So I have 2 fingers down. Then I'm going to take my ring finger, and I'm going to put it on the skinniest string up here, the string closest to the ground, on the 3rd fret as well. So then I have a G chord. Now I'm going to strum that one 2 times. 1, 2. Now the cool thing about it is after you do this, if you can't land that G chord really quickly, you can kind of just strum the D and the G and the B strings, because they're open anyway, and they're part of the G chord, and it kind of will fill it in for you if you can't land that G chord quickly. See how I did that? I didn't land it right away, but it still sounded okay because these 3 notes are part of a G chord. So the first 3 things is the A minor, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 G chords, 1, 2. Now we're going to do 2 D chords. Okay, now to do a D chord, you're just going to take your middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the high E here, okay? And then we're going to skip the G string. Skip it, and then skip the B string. Skip the B string, and then on the G string, let's have your first finger on the 2nd fret as well. Now the string that you skipped, the B string, we're going to take our ring finger and put it on the 3rd fret, and then we have that. Alright? So from this string going that way, we have 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and then the D and the A strings are open. Now we do not want the low E in our D chord. Listen, messes it up. So mute that with the thumb. If you can't reach it, then just don't pick it when you're doing your pick. Okay? And we're going to have, let me see how many of those. 1, 2 of those. We're going to have 2 of those. And then we're going to wait. So we have 3 things. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. And the rhythm is bum, 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 bum. And then you can strum it a little more if you want to. And then we're going to start over and we're going to do that much again. So let's start over and do it again. Now instead of waiting, we're going to go ahead and do a C chord. Because that's what it does after that. Now to do a C chord, this is what you do. I don't like a low E in my C chord, even though it would work. I'm going to mute it with my thumb. And I'm going to have 3rd fret on the A string. And then I'm going to have 2nd fret with my middle finger on the D string. And then the G string will be open. I won't touch it with my pointer finger. I'm going to push down the 1st fret on the B string. And then the high E will be open. Okay? So that's what it's like. It's 3, 2, open, 1. And then the high E is open, and then you get this. You get a C chord, okay? And you're going to strum that 2 times as well. So, got to hurry up here, running out of time. So, you strum that 2 times. So that 2nd time through goes like this. D, D, and then C, C. Now we have this cool little picking part. Let me do that again. Okay? This is what you do for that. You're already holding the C chord. Continue to hold it with the left hand. With your pick, we're going to pick the A string, and then the D string, and then the G string open, and then back to the A. Okay, so that's 4 things. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to lift up my fingers, and all I need is a 2nd fret on the A with my middle finger, and I'm going to do 4 things again, same string. A, D, G, A. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then open A. So that little part goes ba, 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 ba. And make sure you do down picks, but when you get to the G string, do an up stroke. It's because it sends you back to the A string, which is where you want to go. And then open A. Okay? I got to hurry, run out of time. And again, guys, while I'm thinking about it, I can put any of my lessons from YouTube on a DVD. Just send me an email at beginnerguitarlesson@yahoo.com for any questions or anything. Now, after you do that, open A. Then we're going to finger that A minor chord that we did at the very beginning. And then strum it 2 times. Bum, bum. And then go to the G chord and strum it 2 times. And then go to the D chord that I already showed you 2 times. Then we're going to do this. Okay, now for that, we're going to strum it 2 more times. 1, 2, down, up. Now, put the pinky down on the high E on the 3rd fret, and then lift it up. I have it, see that, my pinky down on the 3rd fret, high E, and then I'm going to lift it up. And then I'm going to lift my middle finger, lift the middle finger, and strum again, and then put it back down. So I have... Alright, running out of time. Let's do the whole thing. Here we go, very beginning. 1, 2, 3, and then G, G, D, D. Then we start over and do it again. 1, 2, 3, G, G, D, D, and then C, C. And then we have this little part. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then open A, and then A chord, and then 2 times. 1, 2, G, G, D, D, and then